Pro Vice Chancellors, Professor Satyakam Sir and Professor Sumitra Kukriti Madam. Invited speakers of today's webinar, Dr. Surendra Kumar Venugopalji and Dr. Ramanuj Banerjee ji, all the directors of the schools and divisions of IGNOU, all the invited guests, dear students, our colleagues from headquarter IGNOU and IGNOU regional centers, heartiest welcome to this webinar on Agritech startups, scope and opportunities. I must mention that this webinar is being organized by the School of Agriculture in collaboration with our IGNOU Regional Center, Bangalore. Today, this is a very proud moment for all the farmers and everyone, whoever is associated with some kind of agricultural activities, because the whole nation is celebrating today the Farmers' Day, Kisan Divas, on 23rd of December. We at School of Agriculture, IGNOU, wish to be the part of that celebration. That's why we're organizing this webinar today, to make our students aware of the scopes and opportunities of Agritech startups. This webinar can be attended through the Zoom meeting link provided in the invitation, and it is also available on the IGNOU official Facebook page and IGNOU official YouTube channel. Now it's time for welcome address. May I request my senior colleague, Professor S.K. Yadav sir, to welcome the audience, please. Professor Yadav sir.
Sorry, unmute नहीं हुआ था. Good morning to all of you. नमस्कार. किसान दिवस पर सबको हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. जैसा भारत सरकार ने 2001 से 23 दिसंबर को किसान दिवस मनाने का जो है निर्णय लिया था, और इस कड़ी में आज का दिन हमारे किसानों के लिए समर्पित है. केवल 2 देश इस पूरे वर्ल्ड में मनाते हैं, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मतलब इंडिया भारत, और दूसरा यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका, जो कि 12 अक्टूबर को मनाता है. हमारे यहाँ जो किसान दिवस मनाया जाता है वो चौधरी चरण सिंह जी की, जो हमारे लेट प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे, उनके बर्थडे को मनाया जाता है. और ये एक संयोग देखिए कि चौधरी चरण सिंह जी का जो टेन्योर रहा है एज प्राइम मिनिस्टर, वो भी केवल 23 डेज का ही था. तो 23 दिसंबर को वो बॉर्न हुए थे 1902 में, और उनको जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर का जो शपथ लिया था उन्होंने 28 जुलाई को 1979 को लिया था, और उन्होंने 20 अगस्त 1979 को रिजाइन किया था. तो 23 डेज के लिए ही वो प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे. तो किसान दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में हम सबको बधाइयाँ, हम सबको हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. और किसानों के बारे में मैं जस्ट 2 लाइन कहना चाहता हूँ, जो मैंने जीवन देखा है और मैंने जीवन जिया है. कि मैं किसान हूँ, जमीन से जीवन उगाता हूँ, मेरे घर की छत टपकती है, फिर भी बारिश की उम्मीद करता हूँ, क्योंकि मैं किसान हूँ. तो किसान एक ऐसा है जो केवल देता है 365 दिन, और एक दिन हम उसके लिए आज 23 को एक किसान दिवस के रूप में मनाते हैं. तो शायद उसके लिए एक जीवन में एक स्फूर्ति लाने का एक प्रयास सरकार द्वारा और इस देश के नागरिक द्वारा किया जाता है. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all of you in this today's webinar. First of all, I would welcome to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nageshwar Rao sir, who is always a source of inspiration for all of us. And I again welcome to the Pro Vice Chancellor, Madam Sumitra Kukriti ma'am, who is in charge of the School of Agriculture, and Professor Satyakam sir, who is always a guiding force for all of us. And I also welcome to all the other PVCs who will be joining to this webinar shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to the distinguished speakers for the webinar today, Dr. Venugopalji, Dr. S.P. Singh ji, and of course, Dr. Ramanujan Banerjee ji, who have found out their timings for ourselves, and they will be delivering a timely lecture on the Agritech startups, scope and opportunities. I again welcome to our own director, Dr. P.K. Jain, who is very sincere in organizing such events so that people are aware about the activities of the agricultural sector. And I also welcome to all the directors, the regional directors, the distinguished guests who are associated with this program through different media, students, my own faculty members, faculty from all other schools of this university, and also to all those who are associated with this program. I welcome to all of you, and it is a very pleasing day today that we are celebrating Farmers Day, National Farmers Day, and we are organizing a webinar on Agritech startups, scope and opportunity. Just 2 to 3 minutes, I would again speak about the agriculture and the topic which we have thought of for today's deliberation. Agriculture in this country is a noble profession which provides two, I can say, two wings to all of us. That is one, food, and another employment. No other profession provides this kind of opportunity to any of us. Therefore, agriculture has been a center stage or center point in this country as well as in other few countries. Of course, I shall be only discussing the situation of agriculture in this country. The agriculture always invited innovations, and probably because of that reason, it has progressed ever since it has been noticed an organized sector almost 10,500 years back. So agriculture is not a small entity, rather it encompasses all spheres of our life. If you take example, it provides 5 E's. E's means employment, ecology, and environment, energy, economy, entrepreneurship, ecology, and employment. So 5 E's, and similarly it provides 5 F's also: food, fodder, fuel, fiber, and finance. Therefore, agriculture has altogether a center stage in our lives, and therefore the governments have been very much concerned about the progress of this country through agriculture, and agriculture has progressed, therefore the country has also progressed. So in the line of the progress, innovations have taken place, and because of innovations, technologies have evolved, and those technologies are transferred to the farmers field, and if they have been suitably adopted, the productivity and the commodity value added products have also progressed in this country, and similarly the farmers' wisdom has also sharpened. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it is my again request and also a welcome to all of you in this program to be to participate in this program as much as possible. And I am very much thankful to all of you, especially the distinguished speakers who have found out their time for all of us. And it is a timely thought of topic, because right now the technology is the driving force for the innovations, driving force for the enhancing productivity in agriculture, as well as evolving several novel products from the agriculture. So in days to come, when we shall be focusing not only about the food security, but we shall be also focusing about the nutritional security, so that the health related issues can be simply elevated from the society. So I again welcome third time to all of you, and therefore I am closing my statement and requesting Dr. Meeta to go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Jadhav sir, for welcoming the audience. Now we'd like to listen about the School of Agriculture and also about the today's webinar topic, that is Agritech startups. So who could be the better person to give the introduction of the school and also the webinar? It's none other than our own director, School of Agriculture, Dr. P.K. Jain, who himself is a man of agricultural economics and agribusiness. So may I request Dr. Jain to talk about the School of Agriculture and the webinar topic, please?
Thank you, Dr. Meeta. Honorable Professor, our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Satyakam Sir, Professor Sumitra Kukriti Ma'am, Vice Chancellor in charge, School of Agriculture, Dr. Venugopal, General Manager, CP Technologies and Investor, Dr. Ramanujam Banerjee, Scientist F, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technologies, Dr. S. Radha, Senior Regional Director at Bangalore, all the directors, head of the divisions and units, all faculty members from the School of Agriculture and also from the different regional centers, all learners. I welcome you all in this webinar. Topic is the Agri Startups, Scopes and Opportunities, which is being organized by the School of Agriculture, IGNOU, and also our regional center, Bangalore, in collaborative manners. Now, the School of Agriculture was started in the 2005 with a mission to develop the resources in agriculture, both human and the other natural resources, to sustain the production and productivity of the agriculture sectors and allied sectors through imparting the education in open and distance learning mode. So, major objective of the School of Agriculture is to strengthen the human resources in agriculture and allied sector through the open and distance learning, and provide equitable quality education in agriculture sectors, particularly in the marginalized areas or disadvantaged area where the reaching is difficult. So utilizing the open and distance learning, we want to reach to the target groups who are living in the rural areas, marginalized area, disadvantaged area, where agriculture is the major professions. And through this open and distance learning, we want to enhance the knowledge and skills and entrepreneurial capability, particularly in the rural areas. And the major focus, School of Agriculture has 16 programs, including one PhD program. And this program have very relevance, particularly we have focus on the local needs, specific local needs. We have the in southern regions, the tea and plantation crops, in the hilly areas, the horticulture crops. So our major focus is on the local needs, then build the employable skills. We want to build the, job givers, not the job seekers. So that's why we have designed the program in such a way where we can build the employable skills, so they can start their own enterprises, So we want to create a pool of employers, who can give the job to others and build the capacity who are already working in the field, in the various agro-based enterprises or in the agriculture field. And so altogether, we have the 16 programs in the School of Agriculture. Wide range of programs are there, starting from the awareness program for the dairy farmers, which is mainly targeting the the rural or rural women who are working in the livestock enterprises. Then we have 5 certificate programs, in the area of the organic farming, the poultry farming, sericulture, beekeeping, water harvesting and management. And these programs basically provide the skills in a particular job or related to agriculture. And after completing these 6-month programs, they can start their own enterprises, or we can say they can start their own business. So in the 6 months, we build and such knowledge and skill in a person so that they can then start their own business. Then we have 5 diploma programs, which basically entrepreneurial or occasional diploma programs we have in the area of the horticulture, which is the recently launched programs. Then diploma in meat technology, diploma in meat dairy technology is there. Then diploma in value-added products and fruits and vegetables is there. Then we have the diploma in watershed management. And these programs, we provide the complete knowledge and skills or entrepreneurial skills basically, so that they can start their own enterprises. And in this program, basically we provide both technical knowledge and skills, as well as the managerial knowledge and skills. So both the parts we are covering in this program. Then we have one PG certificate program in agriculture policy. And this program is basically identify the strategy issues related to agriculture so that we can better implement our agriculture policies, and we can better formulate the agriculture policies. And this program is available in open and distance learning as well as in the online mode. So both the mode this program is available. Then we have 2 programs related to food safety and quality management. And because the food safety is the most important issues, people are also aware about the hygienic issues, and especially when if you want to go for export market, This is the very important aspect. So we have two programs. One is the PG Diploma in Food Safety and Quality Management. Another, the master's degree in the Food Safety and Quality Management. And this master degree programs have the, exit and entry after completion of 1 year. And recently we have started a very good new program, that is the PG Diploma in Agribusiness. This program basically covers the entrepreneurial aspect or startup activities, provide them or we can say develop the management, competent management professionals. And after completing that programs, the learners can start their own agribusiness industries, or they can work as a manager and supervisor in the agro-based industries. And so School of Agriculture is working hard to bring such educational programs, which support and promote the entrepreneurial activities or startup activity in agriculture sectors. And our purpose is also to create the awareness about the, various opportunities, create the awareness about the opportunities available to start the agri startup activities. And since today we are celebrating the Kisan Divas, Rashtriya Kisan Divas, and this Divas is celebrated to express our gratitude to the farmers who are working hard to feed our growing populations, And the agriculture sector is the sector where we have the net export earning, we have the net foreign earning. So the best way to express our gratitude to the farmers who are working hard is to discuss the way how we can improve their livelihood, how we can improve their income, income support. So that's why the School of Agriculture is thought to bring the issues in the webinars or discuss the issue in a webinar. Through that we can improve, we can support the farming communities, by bringing the professionalism in their business. So that's why, in today's seminars, basically we will be discussing the wage, and the startups in agriculture is the way, is one of the way to enhance the farmers' income, and particularly to retain the young generation, the new generation agriculture. Otherwise, new generation is going out of agriculture. So after bringing some startup activity, entrepreneurial activity in agriculture sector, we can keep the new generation in the agriculture sector. So keeping this in view, the School of Agriculture is organizing this webinars on the agri startup activities and scope opportunity. Basic objective of this webinar is to sensitize the people or society about the scope and opportunities in agri startup activities, and also to popularize or sensitize about the various government support available in the agri startup activities. So the school has invited two eminent experts, Dr. Ramanujam Banerjee, who will explain or discuss the government perspective and the importance of the agri startup activity and supports available from the government sector, government. And Dr. Venugopal will explain his real experience of starting the agri startup activities, in the technology field. So I again welcome all the experts and the dignitaries who are present. Thank you, Dr. Mehta. Thank you very much.
Unmute कर लो Dr. Mehta.
I'm extremely sorry, madam. Actually, I'm having internet connectivity issues here. I must thank Dr. Jain, sir, for informing us about the school's activity and the school's program, and also for introducing today's webinar topic and explaining the objectives of the webinar today. Unfortunately, today we are deprived of the gracious presence of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Nageshwara Raoji, as he could not attend this webinar because of his another urgent engagement. but we know that we are always having his kind blessings, guidance, and support with us for all the activities of the school. Today, we are privileged to have with us our respected Pro-Vice Chancellors, who are always been a source of inspiration to us. So now, may I request our respected Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Satyakam sir, for his kind remarks, please.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप सब लोगों का स्वागत, अभिनंदन किसान दिवस के इस मौके पर। हम तो सुनने आए हैं अपने जो हमारे विद्वज्जन यहाँ उपस्थित हैं स्टार्टअप के बारे में और कैसे किसानों को आर्थिक दृष्टि से हम मजबूत बना सकते हैं। किसान को हमने बहुत अलग अलग दृष्टिकोण से देखा है। प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव, साहित्य और सिनेमा, इन तीनों में ही एक जो सूत्र मिलते हैं, वो सूत्र मिलते हैं कि किसान बहुत ही गरीब होता है, निर्धन होता है। अभी आदरणीय प्रोफेसर यादव जी ने जो 2 पंक्तियां सुनाई, उसमें भी यही प्रतिध्वनित होता है। लेकिन किसान आरंभ से ही गरीब नहीं रहा और इस सभ्यता के आरंभ से किसान ही सबका पालन पोषण करता रहा है और राजकाज चलाने के लिए सरकार को जो पैसे चाहिए वो भी लगान के माध्यम से किसान राजा को कर देते थे और राजकाज चलता था। लेकिन किसान जो है वो गरीब हुआ अंग्रेजों के आने के बाद, क्योंकि अंग्रेजों ने जो कर लेने की पद्धति थी, उस कर लेने की पद्धति को बिल्कुल बदल दिया। इसके पहले एक हिस्सा, अपनी उपज का हिस्सा कर के रूप में किसान देता था राजा को, लेकिन अंग्रेजों ने उसे उलट दिया और कहा कि नहीं, उपज के आधार पर नहीं बल्कि भूमि के आधार पर किसानों को नगद भुगतान करना होगा। इससे किसानों का कर्ज बढ़ा, इससे मेरी आवाज पहुंच रही है?
यस सर।
हाँ सर।
यस सर, ऑडिबल।
क्योंकि किन्हीं कारणों से मेरा जो चित्र है वो मेरे यहां से गायब हो गया, आ गया। तो ऋण का बोझ, ऐतिहासिक दस्तावेजों को अगर हम देखें तो ऋण का बोझ सबसे ज्यादा किसानों पर पड़ने लगा और किसान महाजनों से ऋण लेने लगे और उसका पूरी संरचना बना दी अंग्रेजों ने, और किसान महाजनों के कुचक्र में फंसने लगा और वो कुचक्र लगातार चलता रहा और किसान मजदूर के रूप में परिवर्तित होने लगे और अपने ही खेतों में मजदूर के रूप में काम करने लगे। यानी पहले वो मालिक था, अब वो नौकर हो गया। जमींदारी व्यवस्था आई और जमींदारी व्यवस्था ने चीजों को और मुश्किल कर दिया। बाद में आजादी मिलने के बाद किसानों पर ध्यान दिया गया, लेकिन किसान को एक बहुत ही दयनीय और गरीब और निर्धन प्राणी के रूप में देखा गया। संवेदनाएं व्यक्त की, सहानुभूति व्यक्त की गई, लेकिन किसान कैसे आत्मनिर्भर हो, इस पर अपेक्षाकृत पर्याप्त ध्यान नहीं दिया। और जो भी योजनाएं बनी, उन योजनाओं में जो फलीभूत होना था वो किसानों तक नहीं पहुंच पाया। हरित क्रांति भी हुई, लेकिन हरित क्रांति एक क्षेत्र में हुई, और वहां का क्या हाल है, पंजाब की बात मैं कर रहा हूं। देखिए, पंजाब में पहले गेहूं होता था, बाद में 3-3 फसल होने लगे, जिसमें धान भी है। यहां कृषि वैज्ञानिक बैठे हुए हैं, मैं उनके सामने यह बोलने की हिमाकत कर रहा हूं कि धान एक ऐसी फसल है जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा पानी लगता है। पंजाब में पानी था नहीं, लेकिन पानी की व्यवस्था कर वहां धान उगाया जाने लगा। और अभी मैं कुछ दिनों पहले सुन रहा था कि धान की अत्यधिक उपज पर बल देने के कारण पंजाब में तेजी से भू स्तर नीचे जा रहा है और वहां पानी की दिक्कत हो रही है। वहां के किसान निश्चित रूप से अधिक समृद्ध हैं दूसरे इलाकों की अपेक्षा, लेकिन हमें एक रणनीति बनानी है पूरे भारत के लिए। और ये जो स्टार्टअप है, ये स्टार्टअप और कुछ नहीं है, बल्कि किसानों को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने की ओर एक कदम है। किसान पहले आत्मनिर्भर था और गांव की पूरी अर्थव्यवस्था, जिसको हम बार्टर सिस्टम कहते हैं, उस पर आधारित था और किसानों को कोई दिक्कत नहीं होती थी। लेकिन पूंजीवाद के प्रवेश के साथ और नगदीकरण के आगमन के साथ किसानों के पास नगद राशि की कमी होने लगी, उसको लागत से ज्यादा खर्च करना पड़ा, आदि। तो मैं ये समझता हूं कि आज की जो संगोष्ठी है उसमें हम इस बात पर विचार करेंगे कि किसान कैसे आत्मनिर्भर हो, उनकी आर्थिक स्थिति कैसे मजबूत हो और सरकार इसमें कैसे उनकी मदद कर रही है और उनकी मदद आगे की जाए। इस पर हम निश्चित रूप से इस संगोष्ठी में हम विचार सुनेंगे अपने विद्वज्जनों का। तो मैं एक बार फिर आप सब लोगों को बधाई देता हूं किसान दिवस के अवसर पर कि एक किसान प्रधानमंत्री को सम्मान देते हुए चौधरी चरण सिंह जी हम ये किसान दिवस मनाते हैं, किसानों को याद करते हैं, क्योंकि किसानों के कारण ही हमारा देश सारे संकटों को पार कर जाता है। आर्थिक मंदी आती है, उसको भी हम लोग पार कर जाते हैं। वैश्विक मंदी आई, लेकिन कोरोना के समय में भी किसानों ने हमें जिंदा रखा। तो मैं आप लोगों को स्कूल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर को, इसके निदेशक को, सभी अध्यापकों को मैं इस आयोजन के लिए हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं और बधाई देता हूं। आप लोग अपने स्कूल के माध्यम से अनेक कार्यक्रम और पाठ्यक्रम चला रहे हैं। मैं चाहता हूं ये कार्यक्रम और पाठ्यक्रम किसानों के पास पहुंचे और ये अंग्रेजी के माध्यम से नहीं पहुंचे, ये पहुंचेगा भारतीय भाषाओं के माध्यम से। तो आप लोग अपने पाठ्यक्रमों को भारतीय भाषाओं में ज्यादा से ज्यादा तैयार कीजिए ताकि किसान आपके पाठ्यक्रमों को पढ़ सके, उससे लाभान्वित हो सके। और आज स्कूल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर का दायरा केवल किसानी से नहीं है, बल्कि हॉर्टिकल्चर से भी है, सेरिकल्चर से भी है, और बहुत से पक्ष हैं इसके, दायरा बहुत बढ़ गया है। तो आप लोगों को शुभकामनाएं, और आप लोग बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, आगे भी अच्छा काम करें और किसानों के पास पहुंचे, उनको उनके समृद्ध करें ताकि वो बेहतर खेती कर सके और इस पूरे विश्व भूमंडल में अपने 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 आप को सुरक्षित भी रख सके और आर्थिक रूप से उन्हें संबल भी प्रदान हो। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे मौका देने के लिए कि मैं कुछ बोलूं।
सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। किसानों के आत्मनिर्भर होने का जो इतिहास आपने सुनाया, हम सभी को ज्ञानवर्धन हुआ है। हम आपके आभारी हैं आज के इस वेबिनार में आपकी गरिमामय उपस्थिति के लिए एवं हमेशा हमारी कृषि विद्यापीठ को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। Today we are honored to have with us two eminent experts to discuss the scope and opportunities of the agriculture startup. First, I would like to invite Dr. Surendra Kumar Venugopalji, who is the General Manager, CP Technologies. Dr. Venugopalji has vast experience in information technology, computer application, intellectual property and cyber laws, business administration, and he has held important positions in various organizations. Just to name a few, he is the technical advisor of Guare Global US, Chief Technology Consultant IDIQ US, Strategic Advisor Infotree Limited UK, co-founder of Goodstart Biz Solutions Private Limited, Principal Architect of ES Technologies, etc. He is also the member of Institutions Innovation Council, which is under the MHRD, member of ICOR Advisory Committee for India chapter. So he has been instrumental in delivering and consulting of large business systems for government and many non-government organizations over more than 20 years. Today, he will be talking about the technologies in Agritech startup. Sir, we are eagerly waiting to listen to you. Kindly share your experience with us, please.
Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot for a nice introduction. It has been a pleasure listening to sir, and it was a good insight into what your schools offer and where we are heading to. And I'll be delivering this in a mixed mode so that it's a better thing, and the emphasis which was given कि हम लोगों को अपनी राजकीय और भारतीय भाषाओं में अपना जो कनेक्ट करना है या हमारे को जो अपने लोगों से इस चीज में कनेक्शन होना चाहिए, तो दैट शुड बी डन इन नॉर्मल और लोकल लैंग्वेजेस. So I have a slide to share. I have quickly put in a slide. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and run the slide and share my screen so that we can just go through that. And it's a fixed agenda. I'll try to be 100% on time. So I'll just try to give a quick overview of what exactly the topic is, what we are, where we are heading to. So just let me know if you can see my slides. Okay. So topic is technology in agri startups. So first, we have to understand what's Agritech. So there is a term Agritech around the world where we are going ahead and we are talking about agriculture, technology, a mix of agriculture and technology. That confuses a lot of people because the kind of people you are working with is you are doing innovation at the bottom of the pyramid. So it's something that when you are doing an innovation at the top of the pyramid, you know that you have elite class people understanding, who are well informed, but you are going to people who are practically well informed, but they are not informed in terms of what exactly they need to achieve. They know what to achieve, they know how to achieve, but they don't know the jargons which we talk and which people talk about in big boardrooms. And then what are the advancements in agri research? Where is the world and India heading to? And the ask, what and when. So Agritech, in that overall concern, it's a convergence of technology in agriculture. यानी हम लोग किस तरह से जो हमारी प्रौद्योगिकी है और हमारे एनहांसमेंट्स हैं या हमने जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी में अचीव किया है उसको एग्रीकल्चर के साथ कैसे मिक्स कर सकते हैं, हमारे किसान किस तरह से उसका उपयोग कर सकते हैं. The technology which is basically in farming is usually to improve the efficiency and profitability. We were talking about a lot of things in the overall discussion initially that किसान को हम गरीब समझते हैं. तो अगर हमें किसान के पास ऐसी एक चीज है which is very expensive and people cannot survive without that. ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम 5 दिन बिना खाने के रह सकते हैं, इससे ऊपर नहीं रह सकते. खाना पानी ये सब बहुत essential चीजें हैं, and everything else is luxury. When we talk about food, clothing and housing, these are your basic necessity. Rest everything in the world is luxury. So किसान के पास वो कुंजी है that if you don't have food, you won't be able to survive. And that is very essential for your body and regular functioning of human beings. So they have the right thing which they are producing. So their product is very unique. First of all, if we talk about business terms, what is the product they are offering? They are offering a product which everybody and anybody and everybody needs. So the need is there, and it is required on everyday basis, and it is a perishable item. So it cannot be stored for a longer time. So that's why their product is very unique. Their offering is very unique. So what they have to do is they have to use technology to develop and improve efficiency and profitability. They are doing, a lot of people are earning profitability from various farming sources, but not everyone. So this has to reach to our bottom of the pyramid, so to each and every small and big farmer. It offers products to enhance crop and soil. What Agritech does. So if you see a small picture out here, you have a small picture you can see on my screen. In the past, we were just in 19th century, we were using the plow. We were talking about horses, oxes and all. और हमारे पास सारा manual साधन थे irrigation के, हमारे agriculture के. धीरे धीरे we went to certain GMOs, genomics we went. And then we had machinery and GPS tracking in 2008. So this was past. And now what is the present? Present is there is a overwhelming data to the farmer. फार्मर को आप ये बोल रहे हैं कोई प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है जहां मैं जीपीएस डेटा दे रहा हूं, जहां मैं आपकी सॉइल की क्वालिटी का डेटा दे रहा हूं, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर आपको जोन्स की देती है, रेनफॉल की इंफॉर्मेशन देती है, पर उस डेटा का क्या करना है फार्मर के पास वो नहीं पता. उसको डेटा वेरियस एग्री स्टार्टअप्स आते हैं, उसको बता रहे हैं कि आप ये डेटा लीजिए, you can work with it and all those things. So everything is there, but he's confused with what to do with the data. What is the future? The future is a potential for the farmer wherein startups can come in and work. And it's not only just a connected IT framework or various IT things, it's the overall stitching of the data which he needs in the right format, and the insights will be helpful for him, the way he can increase his farming, what and when to cultivate, how to cultivate, smart greenhouses, smart farming. So that is the future of this whole Agritech, which is basically the vision and mission of everyone. So now if I come to where the world and India is heading to, we are talking about visible Agritech use cases and uses. Drones we are listening about, satellite trackers, IoT-based sensors, automated irrigation, big data for decisions, blockchain-based logistics, smart farming methods. So if I just take them individually, IoT is basically Internet of Things. So it's a part wherein you have a sensor where you can attach and you can use a lot of data to be captured out of that sensor and work out it. So that can be for a humidity tracker or a tracker for the rainfall. So various projects are being done which are funded by World Bank as well in India, wherein you are trying to see that how I can make my where I can make my agriculture as a overall headed one and a data driven agriculture. And then you have robotics. So you have a lot of problems with skilled labors and the way you have to work out in an agri business, or rather in agriculture. So you can use robots and all and robotic methods. So you have a lot of machinery out there coming up. There are a lot of smart devices coming on. There are a lot of packaging units and machinery, smart machinery, which is being introduced to India market as well, which is based on robotics, so that you can have a precision-based farming and a lot of other things you can work out on. And then you have AI, artificial intelligence, which can use the data which is available in the world and try to give you certain applications and certain usability which can be helpful in your farming. Let's say, for example, there is a company which is a pesticide company. What they do is they have a condition and they use the data for pictures of the plants and all, wherein you can see the various diseases in the plants, viruses in the plants, which basically are harmful for the plantation and your crop. So therein they give a early warning to people that, okay, this can be your comparison. You can just compare these things and basically it will give you what exactly you can work out on. And that is how you can work this overall statistical data which is out there, and it can help you in achieving something better for your overall farming benefit. यानी आपके पास एक डेटा आ गया, आपके पास एक इमेज आ गया कि जिसमें ये था कि ये वाला लेट्स से स्मट ऑफ वीट है, एक डिजीज है, ये वाला है, ये इस चीज से क्या है, इसके ये 4 स्टेजेस है. तो अर्ली स्टेज डिटेक्शन के लिए आपको डेटा मिल गया, कंपैरिजन मिल गया. अगर आप रजिस्टर्ड हैं उस प्लेटफॉर्म से तो आपको एक नोटिफिकेशन आ गया कि यार आपका वीट मैं रेगुलर मॉनिटर कर रहा हूँ ड्रोन से, ठीक है. उसमें क्या मिला है मुझे, ये जो इमेजेस आई हैं लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग या इमेज जो मेरे पास पोस्ट हुई है, उसमें मुझे लग रहा है आपका ये अर्ली स्टेज है, आप ये वाला पेस्टिसाइड यूज कर लीजिए, या कोई भी ऑर्गेनिक मेथड जो भी है, howsoever you want to work out, that can be worked out. So that is a use case for combination between drones and artificial intelligence. And then you have big data and analytics. So we all know that big data and analytics is a huge part of overall analytical industry, wherein we can analyze a lot of data and we can churn out the results very quickly. तो ये चीज आपका काफी यूज हो रहा है आपका जीनोमिक्स में, जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग में, नई वेरिएंट्स बनाने में, रेजिलिएंट्स प्लांट बनाने में. तो वो हम देख ही रहे हैं आज की डेट में. आप हाइब्रिड फ्रूट्स, हाइब्रिड क्रॉप्स देख रहे हैं, हाइब्रिड सीड्स देख रहे हैं, विच आर हैविंग ऑल द गुड थिंग्स विच दे नीड, एंड दे आर मोर रेजिलिएंट टू द एटमॉस्फेयर. दे टेक लेस वाटर, दे टेक लेस sunlight, whatever is required based on the overall atmosphere condition. So you have resilient plans being made, and I think we have a lot of scientists over here who are working on it, and they would be more informed than me. But yes, with my little knowledge, this is the whole thing which we do, and this data, big data and analytics is being used in that. And then you have blockchain. Blockchain is a simple registry wherein you can keep the whole data, which can help you in keeping the whole sequencing data for your crops, the various artifacts which are available, the various statistical data which you have, and all these things can be applicable to this. And then agri-genomics, genotype applications are there, which can help you in genotyping of your various application crops, like fodder, crops, fodder, and your animal husbandry, for your animal husbandry, animals and all. So all these things can be done based on this. So moving to the next thing. So this is where the world is heading. They're using these 5-7 pillars of technology, and a lot of companies have been introduced based on this. They are providing different kind of services. Government is also working out projects along with World Bank to give you these services and all. So I think that in the upcoming session, we have a expert who will be talking about the initiatives, what we have been done, but they are working in line to these also. So this is a future farm. If you talk about a future farm, what it will be. So it's a little bit amusing picture, but again, this is out about, if you see there is a survey drone over here, so which will be serving your overall aerial view of the fields, mapping the weeds, yields, soil variation, which I was talking about, that how AI would be helpful by taking the real-time data from these drones, and then it will be enabling to precise the application input, mapping and spread of weeds and all, and backgrass, which could be increasing the wheat yield by 2 to 5%. So as example that, okay, if I take care of weeds, I know early detection of diseases, I can increase my yield because I won't be having a loss on that, and a stitch in time would save 9. So that would be the overall approach towards this. And then we go to the fleets of agribots. So agribots is a term wherein we are using robots and bots, which is basically now with every internet site, or you're listing this word bot a lot in your customer service, where you go to a bank site, you have a chat bot coming up and all those things. So it will be a herd of specialist agribots, which will be just going ahead and doing a specific job like weeding or harvesting. These bots will be capable of microdot application of fertilizers or reduce the fertilizers by costing and all. So आज की डेट में जब हम मैनुअल काम करते हैं तो ये बॉट क्या करेंगे, प्रिसिशन से करेंगे. When we talk about machines, we have a machine, let's say for example I want to dig a hole by 0.5 mm or 10 mm or 20 mm. I might be working on my estimate, and that will be my skills, how much I am trained. But when you feed it in a machine, it will do it with a precision because it is a mechanical device and it has been trained for that, and it will be a precision, precision based work and better work, and they will not be tired. They won't be, having any issues around the overall timings of work. Whenever it is necessary, they can work on it. They are not dependent on the climatic conditions and all. So this will be the fleet of agri-bots. So this is a real world. This is something virtual world we are imagining. We might be using certain things in it, but again, this is how the future would look like. And how long, I don't know, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. But again, this is what is the future which is being envisioned. How much we will be able to achieve, that we have to see with the time. So now smart tractors would be there. So tractors are coming. We are having certain tractors which are having GPS controls and all, but now they can help in, control steering and optimal route planning and reducing the soil erosion and saving the fuel cost. So all these things are small minor factors which we might not be looking at today, but technology will help us improve on them. We are at a very naive stage right now in India, wherein we are just trying to first increase the overall crop, increase the overall production of the crops, trying to achieve more crops from a specific farm, working on vertical farming, working on greenhouses and all. But yes, this would be certain things which would be the future once we achieve that. And then there's a texting cows. So again, it's a funny term, but again, it's about the sensor-based livestock. So we still have a tagging today, RFID tagging are there with the animals who are getting insured and all. But again, if we go on to this RFID, like sensor-based tagging, it will check the health and well-being of our cows and our animal husbandry and our animals and domesticated animals, which would help us in relevant production increasing, plus their milk yield increase and other factors as well. So this would be the one. And then the final one, the guy with the, the whole privilege would be a farm wherein you have to monitor it and all those things, and what will be the average cost to it and what will be the saving. So this is overall envisioning of around that. So this is a small architecture of farm system architecture, that how these are connected. Might not be very relevant on this, but yes, with the relevant audiences, I just wanted to put in a diagram wherein people are seeing how exactly things can be controlled. So we have a lot of application going on with the, various places where what is happening. And there is one project called Pokhara, which is being done along with Maharashtra government and World Bank. I had some insight of it because I had worked along in this 2 years back. So this is more of what they are doing is they are going ahead to the areas in Vidarbha and places where there is small, like scanty rainfall and all. And they are trying to, work on the soil quality. They are trying to report the soil quality, humidity of it, when it is the right time to plant, what is the plantation would work. So they are working on that data with the satellite data and a mix of a system. They have gone ahead. They had made a lot of dashboards. And if you will do a quick Google on Pokhara's and World Bank's project, you'll get the insights of it, that it has 4 or 5 relevant key points wherein it is working on. The other one is ROG Online, wherein we have funded that company, and I am the the CTO right now for it, wherein we have helped this, and it's Angola based startup. So wherein first stage they did was they made a simple e-marketplace for the customers and for the farmers, wherein they were directly connected. Now they have gone a step ahead, and they have tried to bring in the benefits to the farmer through the platform, wherein they are telling that we will get you everything out here, we will get you the funding, you have to just do a buy now pay later based on your credit rating, based on the land, based on the yields you have, and you can borrow anything from this platform, or you can get funded, borrow it, and pay back when you get the crops being sold. Either you can sell it to us, or you can sell it to anybody outside there. Whatever your agri needs are there, that will be fulfilled by the platform. And the third part is they are having tie up with the relevant agencies, WHO, World Bank, and other agencies who are working towards the overall well-being of farmers and their families. They are trying to impart training on agriculture. They are trying to impart training on lifestyle, how exactly they can improve. Plus, they are working on other social causes as well. And then there is a company called Cropin, wherein they're working on a lot of stability around data-based agriculture, and what exactly can be done for the storage of crops, how the crops yield can be increased and all. And then Intro Lab is more of one of the agri startups where they are collecting data, and they have been in the market for good almost nearly to a decade. These guys are there where people are working on it, things are happening, people are going towards this, and a lot of technology people are shifting towards agriculture because of a simple reason, that food is your major component of your life, and without food and without good food you cannot survive. And increasing the yield to feed the whole growing population of the world is also one of the constraints. And with the climate change, the change in the agriculture pockets is also a very important factor which is happening, because with a lot of new agriculture pockets coming in future, in coming 5-10 years or 15 years, you would have new agriculture pockets coming in, wherein because of the climate change, a lot of new areas would come up where you would have fertile land coming up. Like in Europe, people are predicting, as you have seen this year, Italy was very warm, that it might go ahead and it might grow as a new agriculture pocket. Wherein for India, we have to think that how exactly we can increase the yield based on the overall ask of the consumers. What exactly is the difference in right now? If you see India right now, you would have seen a sudden drastic change in the food habits and the fruits which we get. Kiwi is a fruit which was imported, and now you have a lot of local farmers in greenhouses which were funded a lot, and government had helped them cultivating kiwis, mushrooms, strawberries in India a lot in various pockets. So the change of the food habits are also getting in our farmers to innovate, and they're working on a lot of such indigenous methods to cultivate new crops. So the ask, so that is what is basically what and when to do. So this is something wherein we need to work out with the current farmers and just let them understand what is the ask. It's not always the money, it's sometimes the data, it's sometimes the methods, it's sometimes the right availability of resources. Like we are dependent on rainfall a lot, so right availability of water, irrigation methods, smart irrigation methods. So those things are there, which is the ask of the time and ask of the hour. In terms of the technology ask, we have the relevant frameworks and support available. So now the whole thing is for working with Agritech and starting your startups, you have to just see what exactly you would need to start a startup. First of all, you need to have the connect and right understanding of the overall crop cycle, how exactly crop works, what exactly is our kind of rabi crops and other kinds of classification of crops around India. So those are the things which we have to work out. And then the other alternate methods like sericulture we have talked about, And then we have talked about basically like, you have fish farming and you have other methods and wherein we can work out. So based on that, that is the overall ask. So this is most probably, and I've just came to the end of my session. So if there are any questions and all, you can just mail me on to this. If somebody is looking in for your, funding for your startup or certain ideas or strategy for your startup, we run an incubation advisory firm as well. So this is my email ID and this is my personal email ID also for you to just reach out and give me a shout. So we can connect with your students who are trying to do certain things around it, or people who are working towards certain items and who want to, set up a successful agri startup. We can help them, and we can also help them grow. So that's how we have to grow together. And the good thing is technology has been very, very beneficial in a lot of spaces. We have a lot of 80% of Indian startups are usually on technology, marketplaces, e-commerce side, but nobody is looking at the alternate source and trying to innovate more towards the areas where we have to, because we are a agriculture economy. We were a major agriculture economy, which we have to play on our strength and try to increase our agriculture, because that is something we have been, as was mentioned, that we are getting a lot of income directly from exporting. And that is one of the things that in the 16th to 17th century, we were one of the major exporters of spices, and it was not available anywhere in the world. And India was known for spices. And so we can regain that glory, wherein the world used to look upon us on the products and the new, and better rather crops, which are not anywhere in the world. Like if I talk about mango is one of the favorite fruit of the world, and certain varieties we have which are relished by everyone around the world. So thanks a lot for the time and this opportunity. So I'll be closing this. If there are any questions, I can take it, and or else I'm done. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation. I enjoyed a lot, and I am sure that all the participants did too. So, sir, what happens when we hear about the technical terms, like we get scared whether we would understand those technical terms or not. But through your interesting presentation, you made it look like so simple. Even I also could understand some of the terms. How the technologies, different technologies, advanced technologies like the robotics, drones, artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, how these can be applied in the agricultural and allied sector. You explained it so well. I'm sure that all of our students got motivated by your lecture, and they would think of having their own business, starting their own startup. I must mention that, sir, through our academic programs, we provide the knowledge and skills required for starting up the entrepreneurial activities in the agriculture and allied sectors. And today, after attending this webinar, I'm hopeful that our students will get motivated to have their own business one day. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation once again. So now I'd like to mention that our second speaker could not attend this webinar today, Mr. S.P. Singh. So I'd like to invite our another esteemed speaker, Dr. Ramanuj Banerjee, who is the scientist at the Department of Science and Technology. And presently he is holding a very prestigious position as the National Focal Point India for United Nations APCTT, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology. He has many accolades in his position. He is a national scholar, fellow of Indian Association for Advancement in Veterinary Research, fellow of National Academy of Veterinary Sciences, Young Scientist Awardee, Young Veterinarian Awardee, Chief Minister Awardee. He is having 28 years of professional experience in government, including scientific research, technology development, innovation management, policy formulation, national coordination, and international cooperation. He is having very keen interest in academics. That's why he has published so many papers in the reputed journals. He has written books. He is also associated as a guest faculty or adjunct faculty with the prestigious Indian institutes like IITs, IIPA, CSIR universities. Dr. Banerjee is presently dealing with important national schemes like industrial research and development and promoting innovations in individuals, startups, and MSMEs. He is a member of several professional bodies, advisory, and review committees. It is giving me immense pleasure to invite Dr. Banerjee to give a lecture on the startups and government schemes. Dr. Banerjee, please. Are you ready, Dr. Banerjee? Is he online, Dr. Jain?
Yeah, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, am I audible or I have to be loud?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes, sir.
So, good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure that I have got this invitation to a very, very wonderful forum. And since my basic background is from agriculture related subject, I am very much proud to be part of this today's program. So, respected dignitaries who are present here today, Director SOA IGNOU, Pro Vice Chancellor, other my colleagues, professors, and ladies and gentlemen who are present here today. So, today's topic is also very important. I think I'm allowed to share my screen also, right?
Yes, sir, please.
Is it shared?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically, whatever I am asked to speak here today on startups and government schemes, right? So, in this presentation, I will try to cover up the matter related to startups and the perspective of Government of India, as well as government schemes. So, before going to the main presentation, I want to refer one thing, that why startups are very much important for this country as well as the globe. Because, you know, in India, we understand that the academic research potential is very, very high. And we know that our science and technology indicators, like in respect of publication and patents, is going to be very high in respect of last year or previous years. So research capability in respect of India is very, very excellent whenever we are sitting in different meeting of the UN platform too. And if you talk about the Indian industry, because this department, my department is handling Indian industrial R&D of this country. So we are also seeing that in respect of that manufacturing of products. So that respect also India is in a very, very good position. So the problem is, so academic research is very good. Manufacturing is excellent. In many cases, like, you know, Indian pharma, they are taking around 60 to 70% global market share. So that is also very good. Many companies are coming from abroad and putting their manufacturing hub in India. So now what is the difference? Because if you talk about the technological reliance, which is coming from the institute or any research or universities, research institute or any universities, is not really translated as a product, and it is going to the Indian industry for the last couple of years in India. So what is the problem? What is the gap? Where is how it can be solved? The problem is, whenever we are talking about a research output is translated as a technology, and the technology is going to commercial entity or industry, that is being driven by the people who are called as innovator or entrepreneur, as well as startups. So startups are basically the main driver of any country to make it realize that, you know, technology from institutes to the industry. So that's why startup is very much important, and that's why Government of India, all of you know, that taken a special initiatives for Startup India. So Startup India was announced by Honorable Prime Minister of India on 15th August 2015. And what is that actually? In a very nutshell, it is basically a strong ecosystem. If you talk about a startup, startups are the main driver to take a research output, to transfer it as a technology, and from the technology, actually it is going to as a product, and that product will go to the market. So the quantum jump in respect of economy and social is very much important role is basically done by the startups. So now to make actually deliverable startups, there is a need of very strong ecosystem. What are those ecosystems? In a very, very layman language, if you talk about a technology and ultimately technology, whenever it is going to as a product, so there is a need of so many things like, it has to be a technology readiness level, we call it TRL. It has to be some sort of, regulatory clearance. It has to be some sort of, intellectual properties as support, as well as commercial. If you go as a product to the commercial market, there's a need of, market analytics, which will actually be come as a deliverable for that product in the market. So this ecosystem, these deliverables are need a strong ecosystem, which actually makes startups to be a deliverable startups. So this initiative actually supports that ecosystem, which delivers sustainable economic growth and also employment opportunities. The department who has given this responsibility is Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. It's called DPIIT. It is under Ministry of Commerce. And under this Ministry of Commerce, this initiative, all other related departments has also started their own program, which is either directly with DPIIT program or in aligning with that program. Almost all the departments of this country who are related to R&D, research and development, as well as some sort of service, they have made their own program, which actually indirectly or directly support the Startup India initiatives. Now, if I talk about the technology readiness level, TRL, so I have heard from Dr. S. Venugopal that there are so many technologies, in respect of agriculture. Whenever we are handling Indian industry, especially agriculture industry, the problem is whatever we are facing, that if you talk about any industry in this country who are very leading industry, agriculture industry, if you talk about 4 technological products, 3 technologies coming from abroad, not from India. Whenever we are asking that why you are not taking the technology from the Indian institutes, so they have given a very good idea that we are talking about TRL, right? TRL 1 to 9, technology readiness level. But if you talk about technology readiness level, TRL, so many technologies of institute as well as universities are actually not translated as a product in India. Why? It is a say of the Indian industries. Because they are saying that whenever you are talking about a TRL, that technology may not be effective key technology with competitiveness and which can be sellable in the market. Why? Because technology readiness level is not always true to go to the commercial readiness level, CRL. Even if somebody will prove that it is a CRL, commercial readiness level, it will not go to the manufacturing readiness level. So whenever we are developing a technology in lab scale, in laboratory or academic institutes, so that is in a very, very low volume. Whenever commercial readiness level is required, that requires a high volume. So low volume will not work in the high volume. Why? And second thing is that even if it is proven in some sort of high volume, which is called pilot scale volume, it will not go to the manufacturing readiness level. And even if it is manufacturing readiness level, it will not be ready to the BRL, that is called business readiness level. And even if it is ready for business readiness level, but many times we have seen that all business proposition does not work and the technological product is not actually taken by the market because it is not customer readiness level. So to be very honest, whenever customer readiness level is proper, which is nothing but a demand of the customer, is being translated as a product, and the product is translated as a design specification, then only the whole cycle chain is being applicable. So who are actually the driver to make customer readiness level to make the whole cycle? Those are startups. Those are entrepreneurs. Why? because they started research, they started technological development based on market analytics and based on customers' voice. If one can take the technology from customers' readiness, voice, and transfer it as a technology and transfer it as a product and make the design specification based on that, it actually gives the product for market and taken by the market. And that's why the startup initiative and startup support is very much important. Now coming to the, since today's discussion is basically on agriculture and it is from School of Agriculture, I will definitely talk very few words from the Ministry of Agriculture. Although I am not from Ministry of Agriculture, I am from Ministry of Science and Technology. I will give some brief of different departmental schemes which is already available in the public domain of those departments. So in respect of Ministry of Agriculture, if all of you recall that, if you talk about startups, before that there was a word we used to speak, that is innovation. So innovation, then entrepreneur, then startups. So if all of us can recall, that decade of innovation was pronounced or reclaimed by the government of India was 2010 to 20. But the very fortunate thing is that Ministry of Agriculture started National Agriculture Innovation Project, that is from 2006, far ahead of, far before of Government of India innovation announcement. Then what I want to mean that Ministry of Agriculture has thought the innovation, entrepreneurship and startup related activities far before than that of other departments or other ministries. Why? Because in India, agriculture is very strong and it is very close to the product development and very close to the inclusive development. And if we can recall that after NAIP, there are so many schemes has come in the Ministry of Agriculture, which is actually supportive to the innovators, entrepreneurs and startups. Like, RKVY, Agri Entrepreneurship Orientation, Idea Pre-Stage Funding, Agri Business Incubator, Agri Clinic and Agri Business Center schemes, Business Planning and Development Unit. All those schemes actually to support startups and entrepreneurs and to make a real picture of making a research output to translate as a technology and through startups to go to the market as a product. And recently, 18th October 2022, there was a PIB release, all of you know probably, that was a special initiative was taken by Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture, that 500 crore accelerator program for overall guidance of the agriculture startup ecosystem. So I have told already that any innovator or entrepreneur, if he is coming to any ministry and having a scheme to develop a product, after that there are so many problems are coming in respect of regulatory approval, market assessment, market analytics. So Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture has thought on it and they have developed a separate division and single window agency where all the agriculture startups to facilitate all linkages required with certification agencies, financial institutes, and agriculture universities. So this is a very, very, and they have made an executive committee which is being chaired by the Secretary of Agriculture, made a separate division which has been created under the chairmanship of Joint Secretary of Agriculture, where they have actually made an alignment or convergence of agriculture universities, institutes, regulatory bodies, financial institutes, government departments with the startups systems of this country, agriculture startups of this country. Now coming to my department. So I am from Ministry of Science and Technology. So all of you know that Ministry of Science and Technology is having three main departments. One is DST, one is DSIR, and one is DBT, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, and Department of Bio. I am actually talking from DSIR, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, which has a mandate of doing industrial R&D of this country. All the industries are coming to our department to get a recognition of their R&D facility in this country. Second thing is that any institutes, including IGNOU, they are also coming to our department to get a particular certificate, which is actually required for their R&D. Now, third thing is that we are also having some plan schemes, that is innovation schemes. So I'm talking today, which the innovation scheme is called PRISM, Promotion of Innovation in Startups and MSMEs. That is actually a scheme where we support innovators to become entrepreneur through developing a startups. So it is basically, if any innovator, any citizen of this country is having some good idea in their mind, and if they want to develop a product, then they can submit a proposal under the schemes. Another question is, suppose a person from Andhra Pradesh, he or she is not having an idea of English writing in a particular format developed by DSIR. So how he or she will do? So that's why we have created our own outreach center. There are 10 outreach centers. If you see that different IITs, CSR institutes, universities, where they can come, they can brief their idea, they can write in their own language, because I know that Pro Vice Chancellor was talking about that Indian languages. Yes, they can brief their idea in their own language. And our center is having an expert team who can translate it in our English language in our format, and they can submit to DSIR for funding. And that funding is, first phase is basically giving them that idea to prototype development. And if it is successful, then we are also giving second stage of funding to make that prototype be a successful product with the formation of a startups. And there is no bar of any subject domain. It can be for any subject domain, including agriculture. For the last 5 years, in fact, I am talking about last 10 years also, we have seen that maximum product development and startup development has been happened from agriculture sector, none other than agriculture sector. So we are happy that I am here today to brief about this agriculture, our program. So the beauty of this program is it is one of its kind program in this country and also in the globe, because this funding is going to the individual innovator of this country. There is no requirement of any educational qualification. There is no requirement of any affiliation of any institute. So anybody of this country is having a citizenship card, like Aadhaar card or anything, and a bank account, he can submit a proposal if he's having a bright idea. So this is any Indian citizen. It is one USP. Second USP is a direct benefit transfer. That means money is going to his or her personal account, not any institutional account. His or her personal bank account. So it's a direct benefit. So if it is an innovation, we'll not wait for institutional approval. James se purchase karo, and then you will get your innovation will be done. It's not like that. Innovation is very, very have to be very, very time bound. So we are giving money to his direct account. And third one is, any innovation may have some opportunity of IP, intellectual property. So if you see any government funding agencies giving money, means they will also take the share of that intellectual property, which is not here. So if it is his or her innovation, IP will also be with him or her. There is no question of DSR share or government share there. So I have already told that we have a phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1, we have 2 category. One is up to 2 lakh. If it is a very, very student proposal, some sort of any individual proposal, very raw proposal. So first we give to be in the safe side, we give 2 lakhs. And if it is for some faculty or some matured person's proposals, idea is very mature, making some prototypes, so it is a 20 lakh proposals. And if it is first phase is okay, then we go for the second phase, that is up to 50 lakhs. And everything is available if you see that www.dshat.gov.in. So it is our website. So I am not going in detail of these schemes. I am going because I want to cover almost all the ministries who are doing some program for agri startups. I am trying to cover that. Now, if you talk about the Department of Science and Technology under our ministry, so they have a specific department called National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board, NSTEDB. NSTEDB has having first sort of scheme launched in India many years back, that is a business incubator. So that business incubator has come up under one umbrella scheme nowadays is called NIDHI, National Initiative for Developing and Harnessing Innovations. So under the NIDHI scheme, actually they have pulled all the innovation and entrepreneurship and startups related schemes. And all the schemes I'm talking about does not restrict to a particular subject domain area. It includes all, including agriculture startups. is the presentation is okay or it is hiding something?
No, sir, it's okay.
Clear.
Okay. Now, under this Nidhi, if you see, there are several components. First is this Nidhi Entrepreneur in Residence. So inspiring graduating students to take entrepreneurship by providing fellowship. So if you see, if you go to the this URL, you will get the details of it. I'm not going details of it. I'm giving a glimpse of all the schemes. Nidhi Prayas. It is basically promotion and acceleration of young and aspiring technology entrepreneurs. So support innovators and startups to technically and financially from idea to prototype stage. It's little bit similar to that of PRISM scheme. Now, next one is Nidhi Inclusive Technology Business Incubator. This is for institutes. Basically, they want to develop or want to start a technology business incubator. I think business incubator concept is very clear to all of you that it is a facility or facilitation to the entrepreneurs and people who are having some bright idea but do not have that much of fund. They can start their own programs or own projects there, and they can come up with a deliverable output and start their own startups. Now, Nidhi Technology Business Incubator, Nidhi TBI. First one is inclusive and second one is normal TBI. Now, Nidhi Seed Support Program, it is called SSP. It is basically early stage funding to the potential startups with promising ideas and innovation to help them graduate to the next level. So it is the next level, second level. So at that time, we can expect that their development is already done. Now they want to do the market assessment and coming up with a deliverable product which have a definite market. Next is Nidhi Accelerator. If you go to the different country, like, German model, Japan model, I have seen in many countries under this event meeting, every country is having a complete ecosystem which includes one accelerator also. Accelerator is nothing but, sort of, mentor giving market output. Almost all the technology persons I have seen, they don't have very good idea of the financial matter as well as market matter. So the accelerator is basically a system which includes some technology angels, mentor, as well as market experts, market lead, it's called market lead, as well as financial expert. So basically that type of thing is also covered under this Nidhi Accelerator scheme. Next in Nidhi Center of Excellence, it's called COE. It is also be developed as sort of global standards facility, has been created in many universities or institutes. Now also they have started new generation innovation and entrepreneurship development center. The new gen IDC. Here actually, they under almost all the startups creation, guidance, mentorship, including financial support, technical supports, and all supports under the one scheme. Now I'm coming to the DBT, Department of Biotechnology. All of us know that they have a very good scheme called BioNest. So BioNest is also a facility creation, and they are restricted to biotechnology. Almost all the areas of the biotechnology includes also plant biotechnology, agri biotechnology, animal husbandry related to biotechnology, fishery related to biotechnology, and other industrial biotechnology. So I'm not going to detail of BioNest, but they have a very specific two schemes. One is big scheme for the early stage innovators to translate to a developed product and starting off their own startups. They have a big scheme. Big scheme is basically idea to prototype stage. And then they are coming up with a SIBRI scheme, Small Business Innovation Research Program. So that is also, you can take it as a second stage of development. That means that point of time, they are coming up with a proper market survey and coming up as a product which have a potential to go to the market. They have also BIPP, Biotechnology Industry Partnership Program. Here actually, if first and second page is clear, then there are two ways of, two directions of a startups to go to the market. One is they have a strong technology which can be licensed to any big industry. That's why the industry partnership program, or they can go with their own products to the market, which is very tough for a startup because they don't have any market positioning. So that's why many times they take the help of the big industries where they have a very good market positioning. So at that point of time, they actually can be used this BIPP. So here also, if you see that if you go to their site www.dbt.gov.in, you can get all these things. I'm trying to recapitulate all the schemes under one presentation. Coming to the Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog has been developed, that Atal Innovation Mission, AIM. So Atal Innovation Mission, I believe that, IGNOU also is being well aware of that. They have also some labs, I think Atal Tinkering Lab and Atal Incubation Center. So Atal Tinkering Lab, the vision to cultivate 1 million children in India as innovators. So here basically the idea is to inculcate the idea of innovation or innovators or entrepreneur in this country citizens. Here actually, if you go to abroad, so everywhere they have a mindset of doing some things by own. So here we have seen many people, they want to have a job, but there, if you go to developed countries, so there they want to do something by their own. So this concept, this mindset, actually trying to be developed by Government of India through this Atal Innovation Mission. And they have 3 different categories, like Atal Tinkering Lab, that is in school level, Atal Incubation Center, that has been developed startup ecosystem in different institutes, and also Atal Community Innovation Center. It's a sort of undeserved and unserved region of India. They have developed some sort of facility, but if anybody is having some idea, they can come over there and translate their idea. They will get some opportunity and facilitation. So you will get more information in the side is if you see that it is at the below. Now I'm coming to that, this, DIPP, the ministry, concerned ministry who has actually started this program. So they have started the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. They have started many schemes under this DIPP. So I am only talking about 2 important schemes. That is almost, if anybody wants to develop a proof of concept, prototype, product trials, market entry, and commercialization. So if you talk about a product development, it's definitely starts from mind to concept development, then prototype fabrication, then there is a requirement of validation on trial. Then for market entry, they need some sort of volume changes like pilot scale development, then pre-commercial development, then sort of business business entity like developing some sort of advertisement and making positioning of their product in different areas of the market. So these all points or all verticals are being covered by the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So here, DPIIT, any startups who are recognized by DPIIT, and if they are more than 2 years in age, I mean that creation of that startup, during the time of their application, they can apply this scheme. And if the scheme is in the Startup India portal, so this seed fund will be disbursed up to 20 lakh for proof of concept and 50 lakh for investment of market entry and commercialization. Recently, that this department has also developed a scheme called IDEA, Initiative for Development of Entrepreneurs in Agriculture. You know that in Northeast region, there are huge agriculture. If you talk about different products like, haldi, black haldi is a very important element. But at the different fruits, if you go to the Bhutan, there you will get, good orange. But the problem is that, they have not a good, transport system. So many of the products are lying there or they are selling it at a very, very low price. And I know, because I am handling Indian industry for the last couple of years, I know that companies like, from Bangalore, they need that black hole. They are taking it from China. They're importing it China for developing their own product. But they want it from there. But that product are not going to the level of, post-harvest management because they don't have any technology. There is no such entrepreneur who can develop it. There is no such of startups. So there is a need of that type of startup there who can make some little bit, technological interference so that this post-harvest management can be done, and this, which is called the shelf life of that black hole will be much more, so that it can be transported from northeast to different parts of the country and even abroad. So that's why the scheme has been developed. So people like you who are here today in this panel or maybe in this program, if anybody is having some idea, they can think of it for Northeast. Now, coming to the MEIT. Now, I think Dr. Venugopal has spoken on this 4IR. We are everywhere we're talking about the 4IR technologies. So IoT, big data, which is very important for agriculture implementation. So I know that Indian industries are also doing that. And for that, Ministry of Agriculture is giving a lot of fund. It's called MIIT Startup Hub, MSH, Startup Accelerator Program. They have a very good program called TIDE. So if anybody is having some idea, MEIT is having some of their, center incubation facility in many IITs and universities. And if that universities and institutes incubation center, if any startups register and take some space there, they can easily get that TIDE 2.0 fund. TIDE 2.0 fund is developing of any technology, existing technology to 4IR level, IoT level, and then different automation level, robotics level, blockchain level. So if they want to develop a new technology or translate of that existing technology, if you talk about any farm equipments, if they come up with a sort of AI implementation in the technology, they can easily get from MEIT. MEIT Startup has also started as a dynamic and singular collaborative platform for tech startup community towards building meaningful synergies in Indian startup space. And also they have started up with that accelerator program. The different from other ministries, they are trying to develop the projects or products which are related to different sorts of IT, development, IoT development, artificial intelligence. So they are related to the 4IR technology, 4 Industrial Revolution technology. Everything is available in their website, which is mentioned below. Coming to MSME. So MSME, all of you know that there's a very, very important component in case of Startup India initiatives. So they have started a very good scheme called Promotion for Innovation, Rural Industries and Entrepreneurship. So many times we have seen that we are talking about different sort of startup development, but many development is related to some urban thinking, keeping in mind of urban startups and urban entrepreneurs. But they have come up with some sort of Aspire program, which is livelihood business incubator, which are imparting skill development and incubation program for promoting entrepreneurship and employment generation in agro-rural sector with special focus on rural and undeserved areas. Give an example, like if you go to Bhubaneswar, from Bhubaneswar to Puri, if you go, so huge coir dust are lying both sides of the road, and after a few days, they are actually burning it and making it a dust, which is giving a huge pollution to the environment, as well as leaching to the soil, which actually spoiling the soil fertility. So I know that some entrepreneurs have come up and they have submitted some programs under this scheme, and with some good institutes, they have come up with a complete solution of that area, and they are coming up with a very good biocompost from that. So now if that biocompost they are selling at a very high price, and they are one way they are actually protecting the environment. Already the technological startups who have come up protecting environment, as well as it's a complete good venture and financial enhancement and socio-economic enhancement of that area. Now, entrepreneurship and skill development program is also with them. MSc CDB is a very good program, which is basically cohort-based accelerator program so as to bring in seed investment, mentorship, industry connect, and 11 components. So many startups, we know that they are coming up with a deliverable product, but that product is not going to the market because some big companies are actually trying to hide them because of competitiveness. So in that case, they are actually making the complete, connect with the big industries so that it can be done to get a marketplace through that big industries. Now, so basically, if you now coming to since today's program is agriculture related, so agriculture food we cannot avoid. So a Ministry of Food Products, if you see that they have also started up with different programs like agro processing cluster scheme. So MOFPI, they have started, the scheme aims development of modern infrastructure and common facilities to encourage group of entrepreneurs to set up food processing units on cluster approach. But many of cases we have seen, if you talk about different big companies like McDonald's. So in India, they have started with, McTiki. So tikki is not a product of McDonald's, but coming to the India, they have thought that, it is an entrepreneurial approach. It is a startup approach that they have thought that Indian taste, they have to blend with McDonald's name. So Mac tikki is very famous if you go to the Punjab area. So McDonald's never prepared any sorts of veg business outside of this country, but they have also started with a different type of veg. So this type of food agro processing cluster schemes, even if it was very much famous during time of COVID, they have actually giving this support. Operation Greens, if you know that, agri logistics was very important in case of COVID time. The countries who have having a very good logistics support, they actually survived very well. And the farmers were also survived very well. So after that and before that also, they were starting very low scale, but they have started very big scale like Operation Greens, which is basically like of Operation Flood. So that one way, the food will get good market, number one. And second thing is that food will be available to each every corner without many hassle. So they new startups are coming and they can get fund. Integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure also. I am giving an example. We have also a very good successful entrepreneur on this cold chain technology that suppose pomegranate is developing in the field. Now 15 days, if you wait 15 days or 20 days, the Diwali is coming. So that time of market will be very high for pomegranate. But if you do not make that facility, that type of cold chain, small cold chain facility, the price is very low and farmers are suffer. So if you make that type of thing, so that was the concept that small cold chain facility, if we create for agriculture, it will give a very good, financial impact in the whole economy. Because big cold storage are there, that is for potato and other things, but not for pomegranate or high-end, high-valued products, low volume, high-value products, no such cold chain facility. So that is possible under this scheme. So now I'm coming to the National Innovation and Startup Policy 2019 for students. It is basically Ministry of Education, I cannot avoid. Ministry of Education, that they have developed a separate department called Innovation Cell, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, MIC. So that Smart India Hackathon, Samadhan, Drug Discovery Hackathon, and Toycathon. Indian toys are very famous in the globe, but the fortunate is that design is being done by India, but development is done by China and other countries. So that's why the Ministry of Education has started this program called Toycathon. If anybody is having some idea to develop the product, come and submit a proposal. Smart India Hackathon is a very, I know that your university is also part of that probably, that anybody is having some good idea, they can come under this hackathon. We want to get this, they want to get this idea, and they ultimately give the project under that scheme so that a deliverable prototype as well as product is coming out in near future. So the Ministry of Education has developed a separate, division to take the ideas from different students of this country. So now coming to the almost last slides, I am coming that one case study, it may be motivated from the agri innovators. Is a Vivek Pandey, is a co-founder and chief technology officer of EcoGen Solution Private Limited. He is a graduate from IIT Kharagpur. So he's a mechanical engineer, and basically he was a very, very bright student from IIT Kharagpur, BTech, MTech, is a very high score. He got many jobs, but he didn't join in any job. He, along with his two friends, started a startup, got first level of funding from TIDE, MEIT, and the second level of funding from our scheme, DSI scheme called PRISM. And he was having some dream of making, 100 crore turnover and 100 manpower in his company within a period of 4 years. And the fortunate thing is that within a period of 4 years, his turnover is touching more than 120 crore turnover with 300 people, 10 patents. And his market is not only in India, but also different parts of the East Africa and Southeast Asia as well. So I just want to show 3 minutes video of his innovation, and it is an agri innovation. After this, I will complete my presentation. You will tell me whether it is visible or not. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. But video is not coming.
The sound coming?
No, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. Now it's got connected. We're able to see.
कारण नष्ट हो जाती है, क्योंकि ये किसान ऐसी जगहों में स्थित हैं जहां पर बिजली का अभाव या अनिश्चितता है। इसलिए इन क्षेत्रों में कोल्ड स्टोरेज की स्थापना कर पाना मुमकिन नहीं था।
Sound is coming.
Sound is coming, but it's not a video. It's moving, sir.
No, I have stopped it.
टेक्नोलॉजीज ने किसानों के लिए एक ऐसा ही कोल्ड रूम बनाया है जो कि बिना बिजली के सोलर एनर्जी से चलता है। इको फ्रॉस्ट।
इसको इस्तेमाल करना बहुत ही आसान है। फसल कोई भी हो, बस बटन दबा दो, सारी सेटिंग अपने आप हो जाती है। बस बिजली की जरूरत नहीं है, सोलर से चलता है, कोई खर्चा नहीं इसमें। बिना धूप के 36 घंटे का बैकअप है, इसलिए कोई फिक्र नहीं। खास बात यह है कि इसमें कोई बैटरी का झंझट नहीं। आज मेरे खेत में है, कल इसे मैं दीपक के खेत में ले जा सकता हूँ। ये पोर्टेबल है, बहुत ही आसान तरीका है इसको ले जाने का। इसमें तमाम सेंसर लगे हुए हैं। इसका तापमान हम दूर से भी अपने मोबाइल में, अपने उपकरणों में देख सकते हैं। पूरी खबर रहती है और इस पे कंपनी के लोग भी नजर रखते हैं। जरूरत पड़ने से पहले ही ये लोग दिशा निर्देश दे देते हैं।
इको फ्रॉस्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज की संस्थापना 3 IIT खड़गपुर के छात्रों ने सन 2010 में की थी। नवीनतम तकनीक का इस्तेमाल कर इको फ्रॉस्ट स्वच्छ प्रौद्योगिकी के जरिए भारतीय खाद्य भंडारण को एक नई दिशा में ले जा रही है। इसके लिए इको फ्रॉस्ट को कई राष्ट्रीय व अंतरराष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार भी प्राप्त हुए हैं। बुद्धिमान प्रणाली की मदद से इको फ्रॉस्ट फसल के अनुसार तापमान और नमी अपने आप सेट कर लेता है और उसे बनाए रखता है। इसमें तीव्रता से ठंडा करने की क्षमता भी है। इससे फसल को अधिक देर तक ताजा रखा जा सकता है और किसान दूर देशों तक भी अपनी फसल पहुंचा सकते हैं।
अब कोई भी सब्जी उगा तो सीधा कोल्ड स्टोरेज, माल सड़ेगा, कम दाम मिलेगा, कोई टेंशन नहीं। इको फ्रॉस्ट बढ़िया ऐप भी बनाई है, इससे चलता है और उस ऐप से ये भी पता चलता रहता है कि इसका बढ़िया भाव कब मिलेगा। हम तभी भेजते हैं जब बढ़िया भाव मिलता है, अधिक मुनाफा होता है। हम 3 दोस्तों ने मिलकर इको फ्रॉस्ट खरीद रखा है, इसे हम लोग खुद इस्तेमाल करते हैं या किराए पर उठा देते हैं। जो अनाज आने के दर से 30 भाव बेचते थे, अब 2 महीने रुक कर 60-70 भाव बेचते हैं। टमाटर तो फेंकने की नौबत आ जाती थी, लेकिन अब तो बर्बादी का सवाल ही नहीं है। अब वक्त बदल रहा है, खेती बदल रही है। यकीन नहीं होता कि अपना खुद का कोल्ड स्टोरेज है, अपना इको फ्रॉस्ट।
Thank you everybody. I think I have finished. Am I audible? I have finished my talk, and the main message what I want to give all of you and all the peoples who are actually deserving startups are going to play in this country as a startups. The startups need this type of Vivek Pandit's attitude. He was having one of my spiritual guru always speaks about the startups similar attitude. It is he was having a very good strong determination, and his focus was just like a laser light, and that laser light didn't changes anywhere until he reached up to 100 crore turnover with 100 manpower in his company. With these words, I am very much thankful to all of you for listening me. Thank you once again. Over to Dr. Mita.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an informative and interesting presentation. You explained so well the difference among the technology readiness level, the commercial readiness level, and the customer readiness level. I hope that our students will keep that in mind when they will plan for any agri startup in near future. You also informed us about various government schemes with special reference to agriculture. For example, you talked about agri clinics, agribusiness incubator, RKVY, NAIP, PRISM, Seed Fund Scheme, Nidhi, Aspire, Livelihood Business Incubator, Agro-processing Startup Schemes, and many more under different ministries. So we hope that our students will try to explore the opportunities and get benefits of this scheme and will have their own startups. So by getting motivation from your example of that Mr. Vivek Gupta, I hope that our students will also one day will make us proud and will be a job giver rather than a job seeker. Thank you once again. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request our very own Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Sumitra Kukreti Madam, who has always been guiding the school to take up new initiatives. I invite Professor Kukreti Madam to deliver a special address on this occasion. Please, Madam.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
The eminent speakers of this webinar, Dr. Venugopal and Dr. Ramanuj Banerjee, my fellow Pro Vice Chancellors, Director, School of Agriculture, other directors from different schools, faculty, alumni, and learners from a School of Agriculture, and all other intellectuals who have joined this webinar. किसान दिवस पर सभी को बहुत-बहुत शुभकामनाएं. Actually, I really want to thank Professor Yadav, who reminded us that today is किसान दिवस. देश का सबसे बड़ा दुर्भाग्य ये है कि यहाँ देश में 60% से ज्यादा किसान हैं, लेकिन सभी लोगों को किसान दिवस के बारे में जानकारी तक नहीं है. But anyway, at the outset, I would like to congratulate School of Agriculture for organizing this webinar on such an important issue. In the contemporary scenario, there is immense scope in establishing startups in Agritech. As we all know that almost 60% of India's population depends on agriculture as its primary source of revenue. And this agriculture sector contributes around 18% of national GDP. But the learned speakers very aptly pointed out that the large percentage of population, large percent of farmers are unable to get adequate returns from farming. We also know that the government has taken various initiatives to increase the income of farmers, though the export market for agriculture produce is huge. Yet, there are many challenges which the sector has been facing since long time. The farmers, due to one or the other reason, do not get better price of their produce. In order to address these challenges, particularly challenges of growth and productivity and improve farmers' income, Indian agriculture needs technology-aided modernization. That is where Agritech can play a very significant role. I completely agree with learned speakers that the Agritech sector has opened up numerous market opportunities in the country, market linkages, etc., taking farmers' produces directly to consumers, digital agriculture, access and transparency to information, effective storage and marketing, etc. Agritech startups have immense scope to play in this field. और जैसे कि अभी डॉक्टर बैनर्जी ने विवेक पांडे के एग्जाम्पल से हमको बताया that अगर कोई व्यक्ति सिंसियरली इस फील्ड में काम करे, so he can go along ahead. And already some startups have acquired considerable success in this area. Actually, India accounts for more than 500 plus startups in the agri-tech space, which suggests that every 9th agri-tech startup in the world is an Indian one. So this sector has not only seen a rise in the number of emerging agri-tech startups, but also increase in the number of investors who are showing interest in these Indian agri-tech startups. And currently, about 25 Indian agri-tech startups have ventured in markets outside India. The topic of these lectures covered different dimensions of Agritech startup, right from technology in Agritech startups to various government schemes to promote startup. And this was a kind of eye-opener for all the people who are interested in any kind of technology-driven agriculture. So these lectures provided input on necessary information which are required for establishing any kind of startups. I sincerely appreciate the school for the meticulous approach in choosing these topics. And these deliberations were very informative and engaging. I'm sure that the valuable inputs and suggestions given by them would motivate our learners to think in this direction, to enable them to become job seeker rather than becoming, it will enable them to become job provider rather than becoming job seeker. And it might help them changing their mindset, as Dr. Banerjee has just stated. I sincerely thank them on behalf of IGNOU and in my personal capacity. At last, I once again congratulate Director, School of Agriculture and all the faculty of the school for organizing this webinar. Wish you a very happy day ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you, madam. We are grateful to you for your motivating and kind words. Madam, we're very happy to know that, as you mentioned, that every 9th startup is coming from India. And from Dr. Banerjee, we could also learn that the most of the startups in India is from agriculture background. So we are so happy to know that today. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind presence and motivating words. So we have few minutes on our hand with the kind permission of both our Pro-Vice Chancellor. May I now announce that the session is open for interaction with all the participants. We might not be able to take all the questions, but we can try our best. So whoever had queries in the mind, whoever wants to interact with the expert, you can speak now. Please come one by one so that we can clearly listen to everyone. Thank you. It's open for discussion.
Dr. Meeta, there are certain queries from the students in the chat box.
Okay. Could you please read out, sir? If I missed, could you please read out, sir?
Yeah, like there was one, I don't remember.
In the meantime, also, if anyone wants to speak. If anyone from the audience wants to share their views about the agri startup, you are welcome.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, today's session is very awesome, ma'am, because of higher officials and who succeeded their life. They shared their experience with us. Because of, ma'am, how we reach with them, because of they shared with us a number of shared technologies and robotics and artificial intelligence. These things are using in farming and agriculture sectors. So we need to learn briefly. We need to learn these things are briefly, not in session learn within a half an hour. It's not possible to learn total things. So is there any way to touch with them who they are shared their experience with us?
Yes, sir. We have a genuine concern. Actually, we listened to Dr. Venugopal. He shared his email ID, both professional and personal email IDs. You can again route down his email ID. Could you please share again, sir? Dr. Venugopal? Dr. Venugopal, are you online? Could you please share your email ID with the participants, sir? In the chat box, you can write. Otherwise, you sir, please don't worry. We'll share with you. We are having his email ID. We'll share with you. We'll just write us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dr. Meeta.
Yes, sir.
There is one query from Rupam Soni.
Yes.
Traceability is the biggest problem of agri producers. Is there any technology for saving final stage crop from unexpected rain and heavy winds?
So now, ball is in your court, sir. If you can answer to his query.
I request the panelists if they can throw some light on it.
Anyone, Dr. Venugopal or Dr. Garanshi, please.
If Dr. Venugopal is not, I think he can interfere. Otherwise, every crop-specific technology, post-harvest technologies are there. And in case of agri-technology, India is also far ahead of many countries, many Asia-Pacific countries. So, am I audible?
Yes,
so
sir.
Best thing is that cold storage, cold chain mechanism is already in place in this country. And Ministry of Agriculture has also started a different program, cold chain program. And second thing is that in respect of post-harvest technology, yes, there are many technologies are available and there are separate companies in this country who are offering that post-harvest technology. Of course, product-specific post-harvest technologies are there. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Yeah, hi, this is Sumit Kaushik. So there are a lot of risks, multiple risks involved in agribusiness management, and a lot of young professions are not getting into it, considering the amount and quantity of risks. Also, the uncertainty of profits due to many factors. Although government of India is introducing progressive, schemes and policies, however, still there is a lack of interest. So how to address this? Because there's a fear in everyone's mind. If we put in money or capital into it, it is not going to succeed. Although it is with every sector, be it farm or non-farm, but with agri there's a lot.
So I can take that question. See, basically, that's the challenge for a startup. So a startup, because we are also taking classes in different management schools. There is a terminology called opportunity recognition. So startup has a very good eye or vision to get that to recognize the opportunity. Giving an example, I'm talking about a startup person. His name is Sandeep Patil. He's from IIT Kanpur. He has developed a technology for filtering, filter. It will be used for HEPA filter. Okay. It was a year of 2019. It was supported by DSIR, and he already developed the machine for that HEPA filter, new type of nano filter development. The moment COVID came, technology developed, but the moment COVID came, he took the opportunity and just translated his idea in the implementation level and making a nanofilter mask. And he is having now more than 60 crore turnover company only because of COVID, and changing his idea to make a nanofilter for HEPA filter or different sorts of filtering machine, change to the mask. So that opportunity recognition is very important for a startup. Yes, there is a risk always, but if your opportunity recognition is perfect, if your intuition or spark is to that level that you can get a market, then it will be very, very sound thing. Another one thing, I am giving you an example. Although there is very risk, but the gain is also very high. If you take any in Indian agriculture industry's data, that growth is more than 100% in agriculture sector than that of any agri sector. If you actually target the right opportunity in right time and place your positioning with that opportunity. Okay. And definitely there is a risk, and that's why government is giving fund to take that risk by the government, not by you, at first level and second level.
Got it, sir. Absolutely understandable. Thank you for your feedback. Also, does eco-tourism, agri-tourism purely 100% fall in the agriculture sector?
No, not agriculture. Tourism department is also taking care of that. In that ecotourism, whenever agriculture components are there, if it is in a startup mode, then you can get funding. You have to actually see there is a language of Government of India. Every department, it is very interesting to answer your question. So every department is having a format for a particular scheme, right? So reading that format, you have to visualize that wording, what they are asking. So that language you have to understand and accordingly you have to apply. So agriculture ministry is having some scheme where you can develop some agricultural intervention in the ecotourism sector. That will be taken care by the agriculture, but it is also under the tourism ministry also.
Okay, so it's a
Okay.
mix.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Actually, it's already 1 o'clock and we have to wind up. Thank you so much, Dr. Banerjee, for addressing all the queries placed by our participants. And thank you.
I think Himanshu has raised his hand, so let him speak also.
Oh, please, sir.
Himanshu ji, you want to speak?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much, sir, for allowing me to speak. It's a small query that I was to make. I'm a certified organic farmer. I'm an advocate by profession. My query is that it is only the PGS scheme which is allowing organic farmers to allocate their farms as organic farms. Apart from that, there are private companies like EcoCert, etc., which are highly expensive for normal farmers to get their farm certified as organic farmer. Is the government of India doing any such thing which can actually diminish this cost? Or there are some other procedures by which we can actually get our farms certified as organic farms? This is my query, sir. Thank you.
To be very honest, actually, I am not from Ministry of Agriculture. Very specific answer I may not have. But yes, if you want this answer of this question, you can definitely talk to Ministry of Agriculture. We have also colleagues there. So if you have a specific question in email form through Dr. Mita or anybody, Dr. Mukesh or anybody from Dr. Jain of School of Agriculture, I will connect with the right person of Ministry of Agriculture with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much for your help. Now, can I just enter into the last part of our today's webinar? I must thank my colleagues, Dr. P. Vijay Kumar and Dr. Mukesh Kumar, for coordinating this webinar and giving me this opportunity to have interaction with the experts and the participants. I express my sincere thanks to everyone for your participation in this webinar. Now we have with us our senior colleague from IGNOU Regional Center, Bangalore, the Regional Director, Dr. S. Radha, who has always been very active and instrumental in organizing the collaborative programs with the School of Agriculture and supporting us. May I now request Dr. Radha Madam to propose a formal vote of thanks, ma'am, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Dignitaries of today's event, my dear colleagues, it's a privilege for me to express a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of IGNOU School of Agriculture and RC Bangalore, we express our sincere thanks to Dr. Surendra Kumar Venugopal, General Manager CV Technologies Noida, who delivered an excellent talk on technology in Agritech startups, and Dr. Ramanuj Banerjee, scientist, DST, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, for providing valuable and very informative guidelines on startup and government schemes. On behalf of School of Agriculture and RC Bangalore, we are highly grateful to Professor Nageswar Rao, Honorable Vice Chancellor, and Professor Sumitra Kuketri, Pro Vice Chancellor, for providing this notable opportunity to conduct the webinar on Agritech startup, scope and opportunities on the occasion of Kisan Divas. And we are also thankful to Professor Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Satyakamji, for his kind presence and valuable guidance. We are highly grateful to our beloved director, Dr. T.K. Jain, School of Agriculture, IGNOU, for taking the initiative of hosting this virtual meeting on the innovative concept of Agritech startups. Sir, we hope to have many more value-added events under your leadership. We are thankful to Professor S.K. Yadav, School of Agriculture, IGNOU, for a warm and graceful welcome to all the dignitaries and audience. We are thankful to Dr. Mukesh Kumar, and Dr. P. Vijay Kumar, School of Agriculture, IGNOU, for the excellent coordination of today's national webinar during this term and examination time. We are thankful to Dr. Mita Simha Mahapatra, Associate Professor, School of Agriculture, IGNOU, for marvelously moderating the event. We are thankful to the staff of School of Agriculture, Research Center Bangalore, for the timely support and moral support extended today to make this webinar successful. We are thankful to all the staff of schools, divisions, centers, research centers, and learners who have taken active participation in today's event. It has been our tribute to host all the members and audience of the meeting. I would like to place my hearty thanks to all the volunteers and participants because of whom we made this event possible. We are thankful to one and all who directly, indirectly supported the success of this function. We have gained practical insight of Agritech startup by this webinar. Thank you.
Namaskar, ma'am. With the kind permission of Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Madam and Sir, can we now conclude the meeting? Please.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Wish everyone happy Farmers Day and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.